Trying to adjust my neck. We got a good one scheduled. Real good. I'm talking over the top good. I'm talking just exactly what our bodies need. Minds, spirits, the whole nine. Everybody's involved. Every part's involved. Every part's gonna benefit. It's gonna be good. Get some chapstick going here. This smells good. Pardon me. I'll put on some of this. Now we're good. All right, well, let me just tell you what we're going to do today. My name is Daniel J. Moore, and today we're going to move around together. I have an exciting session planned for us. We're going to do a 5-minute check-in, just kind of relax unnecessary tension. From there, we're going to go into a little warm-up, get the tissues ready for more movement. From there, we're going to do a standing movement series where we'll be focusing a lot on the legs. We'll be doing some hip hinging, some squatting, and also some tripod pass unders where we're getting down under the ground and then popping right back up. From there, we're going to go to some ground core work. We're going to get into the core today, and then we're going to do a cool down followed by a little bit of a stretch. Sound good? Okay. I hope it works out because this session you don't want to miss. Okay? All right, let's do this thing. So we're going to start from a supine position on the ground, and we're going to check in, and we're going to do a little bit of opu lomi, which is massage for the abdominal area. And then we're going to do some three-dimensional breathing and continue on from there. Okay? All right, so start on your backs, and let's get it. Okay, so on your back, and what we're going to do is we're just going to start by, let me take this coat off. From our back, what we're going to do is we're just going to relax the body as much as we possibly can. I want to invite you to surrender unnecessary tension and just allow your body to melt into the floor below you. And as you breathe in, what I want to ask that you do is focus your breath into the back side of your body. A lot of times we talk about belly breathing and we breathe into the front side. And Dr. Evan Osar, he talks a lot about the importance of three-dimensional breathing because your breathing muscles aren't just in the diaphragm. Your breathing muscles are inside the ribs, outside the ribs, front, sides, and back. And what we want to do is we want to accentuate the movement in the areas that we don't typically move it. So what I want you to do is I want you to take your hands, place them underneath your bum, and hook your fingers into the bottom of your pelvic bowl. Okay, so that's like the sit bones that you sit on. And what you're going to do is every time you breathe, just see if you can send the breath into that area. So as we breathe in, just relax all unnecessary tension out of the abdomen, breathing into the bottom of the pelvic bowl. You can even press into that area just to give a tactile cue, kind of telling your body, breathe here. Okay? Let's just take a couple nice cleansing breaths from this position. Surrendering unnecessary tension, really slowing down the exhalation. From here, you're going to take your thumbs and you're going to reach them underneath your ribs on the back sides. If that's not easy for you to do, you can just take your fingers and you can place your fingers there. And I want you to breathe into your lower ribs on the back side. It's almost like you're pressing your ribs into the ground. Very, very gently, though. It's not like forcing your ribs. It's just gently allowing the ribs to expand on the backside. So remember, the backside is where we don't usually breathe. We breathe predominantly into the front side. So we're just spending a little bit of time this morning breathing into the backside. Okay? From here, let's just go ahead and add some gentle squeezing and pressing into the abdominal area, letting go of unnecessary tension. Inhale, exhale, nice and slow, nice and smooth. If you want, you can drop your knees from side to side, add a little bit of massage into the back side. I got a severe case of river pits happening this morning. I'm like already sweating. Whatever. If you've done one side, go ahead and drop those knees to the other side, massage into the back and into the side on the other side as well. Just giving yourself a little extra love this morning, a little abdominal love, if you will. Perhaps take a full palm and stroke down from the side of your neck through your sternum into your abdomen. Switch sides. Continuously putting your attention into your breathing today. So no matter what movements we do, I want to invite you to integrate the breath work. Okay? If you want, bring into mind something that you're thankful for this morning. Just notice how that feels. Maybe imagine saturating every cell of your body with that energy of gratitude. All right, guys. So let's go ahead. We're going to actually come to a standing position to get our warm up on. So let's go ahead and do that. I'm going to show you what movements we're going to do first, and then we'll go ahead and get on it. So our warm up is going to involve a soft jog, some topotement, and some break falls. So our soft jog, come to a standing position. All you're going to do is you're going to softly jog in place. Okay, so we're just doing this for about a minute of time. Just a nice soft jog. You can go as slow or as quick as you like. You can really accentuate the plantar flexion, dorsiflexion, ankle action, if you will. Nice and smooth, nice and relaxed. Relax all the tension out of your arms. Inhale, exhale, trying to focus your attention on breathing expansively and three-dimensionally. Okay? Got about 7 seconds left. So from here, we're going to go right into our topotement. Our topotement means we're just going to take our hands in a cup position, and we're just going to start with the leg, and we're going to smack down one leg all the way to the ankle, and then work your way back up towards the thigh. Switch legs. So we're just taking, you can either take a cupped hand, or you can even take a loose fist. We're just going to get these tissues stimulated, and this is also a great way to increase circulation. Take a loose fist into the posterior hip. Make sure to get the front side of the hip and also this lower triangle right here. Even into the abdominal area. Side. Other side. You might want to take your hand and get into the lower back area over the kidneys. Just very gentle, very relaxed. Shake it out. Okay, guys, we're going into our break falls. So break falls, real nice and easy. We're going to slowly lower ourselves through a squat position. You're going to rock back, and you're going to come right back up to a standing position. Perhaps walk to another position in your room, lower down, break fall. Come right back up. Perhaps you want to add some hopping, because remember, this is our warm-up series. So we're trying to increase circulation. Okay? So keep your body nice and loose, nice and relaxed. Come down, come right back up. Okay? Come down, come right back up. Now, you know what to do. 20 seconds left. Keep it nice and relaxed. For me, I always like to have that waiter tray hand to kind of catch my head. I straight up blasted my head the other day. It was not cool. All right, so right back to our soft jog. Nice soft jog, nice and relaxed. You think like Baywatch? I don't know, maybe that was like a really bad visual. In any case, nice, soft, relaxed jog. Your feet don't even really need to leave the ground. It's just a way to kind of mobilize the ankles, mobilize the toes, get yourself ready for some more movement. Maybe go a little forward, a little bit back, a little bit side, a little bit of the other side. I just stepped on my own toe. Good thing it was a soft jog. Okay, so just getting that heart rate up just a little bit, relaxing unnecessary tension, 10 seconds left, and we're going right back into our chipotle. One more set. So the first time we did chipotle for the lower body, now we're going to do chipotle for the upper body. So let's go ahead, we're going to start in the left side, and we're just going to do a cup with our hand, nice, gentle, slapping over the chest. I can put my other arm behind my back, get into the front side of the chest, the side. I can take my hand behind my ear, exposing the river pit. That's good circulation. I didn't know that Bruce Lee actually had his sweat glands in his armpit removed. He's Bruce Lee, he can do whatever he wants. All right, let's go ahead and shake that out, switch sides. So you're just gonna go ahead and slap into the front side of the chest, get the arm behind the back a little bit, get up into the side of the neck if you like. It's not a karate chop, you're not trying to chop yourself. And then get that arm behind the head, same exact thing. It's so important to get some massage into your armpit. Okay, so last set of break falls. So let's get right into it. Smack the ground, come right back up. Roll down. Maybe start to get a little bit more dynamic with it. So add some hops. But you'll notice for me, when I go back, I smack and then I bring the arms over this way. And that kind of prepares me to come back up. 30 seconds. Inhale, exhale. Really starting to get that heart rate up. 10 seconds left. See if you can get another one in. Okay. So we're going to move into our first movement series. Our first movement series is going to have a hip hinge, a squat, and also a sumo squat to tripod transition or pass under. So here's what it's going to look like. The first one is going to be a hip hinge, and we're going to add a step out. So that's movement number one. Movement number two is going to be a squat. So we're going to start with the same hip hinge. We're going to squat down, and we're going to add some squat walking. And then number three, we're going to start from a sumo squat position, put one hand on the ground, and pass the leg under, rock, and get up. So these are the three movements we're going to do. Let's go ahead and start with the hip hinge. So you're starting from a standing position. Your feet are shoulder width apart. You're going to take your two fingers and you're going to place them just medial to the hip bones in the front here. And while keeping a neutral spine, all I want you to do is I want you to tip your pelvis forward and then come right back up to standing. Okay? Now, as you continue to do that, what you can also make sure you're doing is breathing three-dimensionally. Okay, so I can focus on length through my spine first, and then breathing into the lower part here that we started with in the beginning of our movement session, and also through the back side. And as I exhale, that's when I hinge forward. And then come right back up. If you have a slight knee bend, that's okay. So again, long through the spine, breathing in three-dimensionally through the nose, and as you exhale, hinge forward just as far as you can go while keeping that spine in the same neutral position. So you'll notice that as I do it, I'm going to breathe in, and as I exhale, you're going to notice that my spine stays in the same position the whole time. And I'm going to come right back up to standing. Okay? So breathing in three-dimensionally. And then as you exhale, you go into the hip hinge. Okay? If you don't need to have your hands on the hips, that's totally cool. So you're breathing in, exhaling into the hip hinge. Okay, so our next one, we're going to go from this hip hinge, we're going to drop the weight back and come into a squat. Now, if you can make it all the way down into a full squat with keeping your feet flat on the ground, great. If you need to come into a squat on your toes, great. If you need to only go about this far, great. Wherever you are, that's perfect for you. So let's go ahead, do the same exact thing. Long through the spine, breathing three-dimensionally. As we exhale, we're going to hinge forward at the hips and then drop the weight back into a full squat, come right back up. Okay, so breathe. Exhale, hinge, lower. And as you're coming back up, you can breathe in again. "15 seconds, nice and relaxed. One more. Okay, now we're going to make our feet double shoulder width apart into a sumo squat stance. I'm going to lower one arm to the ground, and then the same side leg is going to pass under the body, and then I'm going to use rocking to come back up to my standing position. So I'm just going to slowly rock back and then use that same process to come back up to standing, switch sides. So again, from my nice sumo squat stance, lower your hand to the ground, drop that same side knee to the ground perhaps, and bring it under the body, and use rocking to come back up. Switch sides again. Remember, I give you guys baseline suggestions in terms of how we're moving, and then you take it and make it work for you. This session is all about you, so don't worry about doing what I do. Concern yourself with moving in a way that works for you. Okay, so right back into our hip hinge with our three-dimensional breathing, and this time we're going to add a step out. So we're going to breathe in. As we exhale, we're hinging at the hips. From here, I'm going to shift my weight into one leg, and I'm going to take the other leg behind me and step out to the side. I'm going to do about 5 to 8 step outs, and then I'm going to come back up and do the same thing on the other side. So you'll notice the posterior hip on that stabilizing leg or on that supporting leg should be on. Okay? Let's go ahead and come to standing. Shake it out. Switch sides. So long through the spine. Breathe in, breathe out as you exhale, hinging forward at the hips. You can take that other leg behind now and step out to the side for about 5 to 8 reps. Inhale, exhale. Remember, as you're breathing, see if you can continue breathing into all aspects of your thoracopelvic cylinder. Let's go ahead and come back up to standing. Shake it out. Shake it out. Shake out the legs. Right back into our squats. And this time we're going to add some squat walking. So again, same starting position as the hip hinge. So long through the spine, nice and relaxed. Breathe three-dimensionally, fronts, bottoms, sides, back, everywhere. Inhale through the nose. As you exhale, hinge forward at the hips. Lower yourself into the squat. From here, you're going to walk around in your room, either forward, maybe to the side. Nice and easy. You can use your hands to whatever degree you need to make it safe and productive for you. And then let's go ahead and come to a standing position. Shake it out. Let's try that one more time. So again, long through the spine, nice and relaxed, breathing three-dimensionally. Exhale, hinge, squat, and then a little bit more walking. Okay, guys. Right back into our sumo squat position, please. So from sumo squat, nice and relaxed. Maybe add some Supine into those glutes, into those hips. All right, so from here, long through the spine, hinge forward at the hips, bringing your hand towards the ground. Once your hand makes contact, you're going to drop that same side knee to the ground and then pull it underneath the body. Rock back. Come right back through that same transition or process we used to get down. Bring it up. Switch sides. Lower the hand down. Drop the same side knee. Draw it under the body. Rock. And then come right back up. Stay nice and loose. Lower the hand, lower the knee. You know what to do. About 12 seconds, so we got enough time to do one more on the other side. All right, let's go ahead and relax it out, guys. Last set of our hip hinge with our step out. So remember, long through the spine, get yourself nice and relaxed first, breathing and relaxing unnecessary tension. Inhale through the nose. As you exhale, keeping that neutral spine position, hinge forward at the waist. From here, shift your weight into one leg, and then you're going to step out to the side. So you're stepping out. You can step out directly to the side. You can step out to the front, step out way far back, whatever position you like. You can bring your step out to a heel position here, whatever you like. Let's go ahead and stand up, switch sides. So long through the spine, nice and relaxed, breathing in through the nose. Exhale, hinge forward at the hips, shift your weight to that one leg, and start your step outs. Now while you're stepping out, make sure you keep breathing the whole time. 5 seconds, and then go ahead and come back up to standing. Let's go right back into our squat variation. So from your standing position, nice and relaxed, inhale through the nose. As you exhale, hinge at the hips, drop the weight back, sit into your deep squat. Okay? Now from here, you can play around with whatever variation of the squat that you like. Perhaps you want to add a knee tap. Perhaps you want to do some of that squat walking, being very slow and smooth, very conscious and nurturing to your own body. If anything doesn't feel comfortable, make sure you modify your movement to work for you. Perhaps you need to squat a little bit higher and move around this way. That's okay too. 20 seconds left. Just getting some nice gentle movement in this deep squat position. 10 seconds left. All right, guys. Sumo squat to tripod pass unders with a rocking get up. Okay, so sumo squat position. Lower the hand towards the ground. Drop that same side knee. Bring it under. Rock. And come right back up. Switch sides and keep going. Challenge yourself to whatever degree feels appropriate to you. Make this movement yours. Make it work for you. Perhaps you want to add a shoulder pulse here, focusing on pressing through that stabilizing or supporting hand. Rock, come up. With control, perhaps you want to go a little bit quicker. Perhaps you want to go a little bit slower. Whatever you like. 10 seconds left. See if we can't get one more in here. All right. So our next movement series is going to start on the ground. So this is going to be a lot more core activation. So let's start on our backs, please. The three movements we're going to be doing are the following. We're going to start with a happy baby position here on our back, and we're going to do extension through the arms and legs. Okay, so I'm going to talk you more through that one in a moment. From here, we're going to do an inverted crawl position with a contralateral foot hand reach. So this is movement number 2. And movement number 3 is going to be a side forearm plank with hip abduction. So we're just going to come from this side position and lift up, and we can even add some abduction of the top leg as well. So those are our 3 movements. Let's go ahead and get into the first one and get the show on the road. Well, we're already on the road, but you know what I'm saying. So from your back, you're going to lift your legs up off the ground, maybe hold on to your knees for a moment and relax unnecessary tension. I want you to focus on breathing 3-dimensionally. So breathing into those sit bones, breathing into your lower ribs, mid ribs, upper ribs on the back side. So you're pressing into the ground. We're going to inhale, and as we exhale, we're going to move into extension. Now, technically speaking, this is flexion of the shoulders, but you guys know what I'm talking about. So we're going to inhale. As we exhale, that's when we go into our position and come right back out of it. Okay? So move at a speed that works for you. Perhaps it's more comfortable to do one leg at a time. Perhaps you like to mix it up and you would take the legs out to the side. Perhaps you want to go really low to the ground and add some fluttering with the legs. Make it work for you. That's the main thing. 28 seconds. Remember, really focus on integrating the breath work. We really want to optimize our strategy when we're doing these movements. And a lot of times we're holding unnecessary tension, and that leads to an inefficient movement strategy. Okay, let's go ahead and rock up to a seated position. You're going to post your arms behind you and then lift the pelvis up off the ground. Now, you don't want to be collapsing into the shoulders. You want to make sure that you're opening up through the chest and almost like you're squeezing those shoulder blades back on the back side. You're going to straighten out a leg and you're going to press through your supporting arm and reach for that foot, switch sides. So it's an active press into that supporting hand, and then you reach for the foot and then switch sides. So go as slow as you need to the whole time, integrating that breath work. So breathing in from the central point, and as you exhale, that's when you get your reach. If you can't reach your toe, it's no big deal. I would rather you do a range of motion that feels good for your body than strain your body. You're not going to get any awards for hurting yourself. Okay, so from here, we're going on to our side forearm plank position. Okay, so your knees are bent, and what you're going to do is you're going to press your hips towards the ceiling, and you can add some abduction with the hip. Lower down, go again. And keep the other hand on the hip. If you want to add to this movement, you can actually kick the leg out to the side. And again, breathing in, coupling the breathing with the motion. So I breathe in through the nose when I'm on the ground, establishing that really positive intra-abdominal pressure. And then as I exhale, that's when I come up. Lower down. Let's go ahead and switch sides. Same exact thing. Hand on the hip. So you can take your hand underneath the ribs and make sure that you're breathing all the way down into this area and feeling a nice gentle contraction through the side of the body. Okay, let's go right back into our happy baby pose position and do our arm and leg extensions. So from happy baby, breathing in to the sit bones and also through the back side. As you exhale, elongate. Breathing in to come right back into happy baby pose. Make sure to make it work for you. If you want to do opposite arm, opposite leg, that's That's one option. Want to add that leg movement? Feel free. Okay, guys, rock yourself up to a seated position. Bring those arms behind you, inverted crawl. We're going to lift our pelvis up off the ground. Remember, you want to make sure you're in a good, stable shoulder position first. Breathe in through the nose. As you exhale, reach for the foot. Reset. Really take your time to focus and dial in your breathing. 10 seconds left. Okay, guys, let's lower ourselves down. From here, we're going to go into our side forearm plank with hip abduction. Okay, so get yourself in a good stable position. Maybe put the hand on the hip if you like. Breathe in from this lower position. And as you exhale, come up. Lower down, breathe in. Exhale, come up. See if you can move slowly and with control. Lower down one last time. Let's go ahead and switch sides. Find a good, comfortable position, long through the spine, not collapsing into the ground, but nice, neutral spine. Fifteen seconds. Three, two, and one. Let's go into our last set. Happy baby pose with arm and leg extension. So laying on the back, coming into a nice comfortable position here. Breathing three-dimensionally. Remember, the breath is the number one most important thing that we need to be focusing right now, especially on breathing into those areas that we don't typically breathe into, okay? So inhale through the nose. As you exhale, elongate, and then come right back up as you inhale again. Okay, guys, from here, we're going to go right back into our inverted crawl, contralateral foot hand touch. So, inverted crawl, lift the pelvis up off the ground. Inhale, and as you exhale, reach for that opposite side foot. Inhale, reach. This is uncomfortable on your wrists. You can move into a loose fist position. Ten seconds left. Okay, guys, let's lower onto our side plank position. Side plank, neutral spine, so you're pressing firmly into the ground with that forearm. Nice and stable shoulder position first. And from here, breathe in through the nose. As you exhale, bring it up. Lower down as you inhale. Press up as you exhale. One more on this side, and then we'll switch. Switch sides, please. Long through the spine. Inhale while you're in this lowered position. And then as you exhale, come up. Okay, everybody. We're going to move into our final movement series. We have 3 more movements to do. We're going to start with some supine bridge marching. We're going to do some rocking with seated reach and hip press. And we're going to do a foot hand crawl rollover. So check this out. The first movement is going to be supine bridge marching. So you're going to come into your supine position. You can do this with me if you like. We're going to press our hips up into the air, and we're going to slowly march in place. So this is movement number 1. Movement number 2, we're going to rock up to a seated reach. We're going to rock back to a hip press. So it's a seated reach with hip press. Okay? And then last but not least, we're going to move into our knee hand or foot hand crawl. We're going to lower the hips to the ground and roll over. And that's it. Those are our 3 movements, okay? So let's get on our back side. We're going to start with our supine bridge marching. So remember, breathe 3-dimensionally first. Inhale through the nose. Exhale, press by squeezing through those hips. So you're not arching through the back. You want to make sure that your spine is in a neutral position. Okay? From here, keeping your hips in that same stable position, we're going to march in place. Make sure that you're breathing as you go. Those glutes should be active. If you want to add more of a straight leg position, you can. So instead of just marching with a bent knee, you can straighten the leg out. Nice and strong. Breathing 3-dimensionally the whole time. Inhale, exhale. Okay, guys, next movement. So we're going to go ahead, bring our knees towards our chest. We're going to move our legs forward and back, and we're going to rock ourselves up and reach. We're going to rock back and press the hips up. So sit up, reach, rock back, press up. You can add whatever reaches that you like. Press, reach. Now, if you want to add to this one, you can add a little bit of bicycle action with the feet. You can do more of a hip press by pressing into the ground. You can pulse through your seated reach if you like. So many options. You can pulse up without using the arms. Five seconds left. All right, guys, let's get into a knee-hand crawl position, please. So from your knee-hand crawl position, all you're going to do is you're going to lower your hips down to one side, roll through the back hip, and then come to your knee-hand crawl the other side. Switch. So you're going to lower the hips, roll, and come back up. The second option for the roll is to crouch down. So you're in this bent position here, and you're going to roll onto your back and then come up to your knee hand crawl position. So you're lowering down, rolling through the back, come up to your knee hand crawl position. Okay, so now you pick which one works for you and you rock that movement. So nice and relaxed. So this is our cool down unequivocally before we get into our stretch. So we're just taking our movements, taking our time, stretching with strength, nice and relaxed. Okay, guys, let's go on to our backside for one more set of supine bridge marching. Okay, so from your supine position, get yourself nice and relaxed, breathing three-dimensionally. Remember, breathing into those, sending the breath towards the sit bones, sending the breath into the ground. And then as you exhale, press up into your bridge and start your marching. Nice and strong. Try to focus on keeping those hips at the same height the whole time. Oftentimes what happens is the hip wants to dip down. So you want to try to maintain that same hip position. And if that's not easy, then slow it down even more. Really challenge yourself to maintain good position. Perhaps you're just going to lift your feet maybe an inch or so off the ground. That's an option as well. Use the version that works for you. Nice and strong. Using whatever variation feels best for your body. Okay, next movement is the rock up to a hip press. So you're going to rock up, reach through, rock back, press up. Come forward, reach, come back, press. Stay in any one of these positions as long as you like. Adding whatever variation that you like. Make your movements quality. Have fun with it. 20 seconds left. Ten seconds left. That probably seemed like a fast 10 seconds there, but that's all right. Okay, last set. Knee hand or foot hand crawl with a roll. Okay, so get into your position. Perhaps this time you want to add a little get up, you can. Lower down, roll it out, come to standing, whatever you like. Whichever one you're better at, do the one that you're not so good at. For me, the back roll is a little bit funky. I'm going to work on that one. I want to work on becoming softer in my shell or in my temple here, making sure that I can move around nice and relaxed. 25 seconds left. Five seconds. Four, three, two, and get one more in. One. Okay, guys, let's move into a nice stretch cool down. Okay, our first movement today is going to be a scorpion kickover. So check this out. So we're going to come into a foot hand crawl, and you're going to reach one leg up into the air and over. You're only going to go as far as you need to go to feel a nice stretch, and then allow the weight of the foot to pull you into inverted crawl. Okay, and then you're going to use the arm to come right back into your starting position. So there's a beautiful stretch happening along the entire side of the body. Let's switch sides. So again, from your foot hand crawl, you're going to reach the leg over, extending through the toes and allowing the weight to take you into your inverted crawl, and then reverse the path and come right back into your foot hand crawl position. Okay, maybe you crawl around just a little bit, switch sides. So again, reaching up and over, really enjoying the sensation of stretch through the lateral rib cage, and then switch sides, reversing the path. See if you can just pause in these positions and see if you can add a little balancing aspect to what you're doing, controlling yourself through these movements. Okay, so lifting that leg up, perhaps adding a little balance, and then when you're ready, lower it all the way down, switch sides. Nice and strong through these positions. Reversing the path. And whatever you're doing right now, whatever modifications you're making, if you're doing something completely different than what I'm doing, that's totally cool. We're just sharing some time moving together today. And as long as you're doing you, that's all that matters. Okay, guys. From here, we're going to move into a prone leg reach. So you're going to lay on your stomach. You're going to put your arms out to the side in a gold post position. And then you're going to reach one leg behind. So it's a similar position, but this time we're going to focus on opening up through the chest. So you're going to press into the ground with this side that's being stretched. And you can also change the position of your arm. Let me switch sides just so you can see it a little better. So I'm reaching behind with my leg, but I can also change the position of my arm to change the direction of the fibers and the stretch. Nice and relaxed. Inhale, exhale. Really surrendering unnecessary tension, but also not collapsing into the movement. Okay, so we're reaching with the leg while we're simultaneously pressing into the ground with that arm that's being stretched. So there's an element of control through the movement. Switch sides. And switch sides one more time. Okay, guys, the last stretch for today is a Cobra child's pose transition. So we're going to bring ourselves up onto our forearms. We're going to press ourselves back into a child's pose. You're just sitting your weight back over your heels, opening up the low back. From here, we're going to send a wave of motion through the spine, coming forward, lower the pelvis towards the ground, Cobra pose. Distribute that extension evenly through the spine as you breathe in and breathe out nice and relaxed. Okay, from here we're going to go ahead and shift our weight back over the heels. Perhaps you want to take your legs a little bit further out to the side. Perhaps you want to hike one leg up in this position, just exploring different sensations of stretch. Continuing to integrate the breath into your movement strategy. Moving forward and back. See if you can spend a few moments visualizing your body in perfect health. Inhale, exhale. Okay, guys, if you got more time and you want to do a little bit more stretching or a little bit more recovering through mindful breathing and relaxation, feel free to do so. I hope that you guys enjoyed that chill movement session today. I sure did. I'm not sweating much more than I did from the beginning, but I'm not ashamed. Doesn't look too good, but hey, whatever, you know. All right, guys. Well, I hope that you have a good week. I hope that you move a lot throughout the rest of today, tomorrow, and throughout the rest of the time before we see each other again. I hope that you enjoyed today's session today. And like I said, continue to move mindfully and in a variety of ways throughout the week. Make sure you're smiling a lot and make sure that you're bringing into mind things that you're thankful for as often as you possibly can, because gratitude never hurt nobody. Know what I'm saying? All right, guys. Have a beautiful day. Lots of love to you, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Peace.